Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new video here on the channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about Monkie Kid Season 2 and why it makes me angry, upset in a way. Now you might be asking, well, yeah, why? Well, why does Monkie Kid Season 2 make you upset? And to that I would say, because I wish Ninjago could do things like this show does sometimes, man. This show continues to crush it with Season 2. I just finished watching it prior to recording this, and I'm absolutely blown away with what I just witnessed. Now, don't get me wrong, Ninjago is still fantastic, obviously, and Seabound, its most recent season, was amazing. But like I said, Monkie Kid continues to absolutely crush it. However, Season 2 isn't that perfect. It does have some problems, and I'm going to be pointing out those issues in today's video, but I figured I would just give a brief overview of Monkie Kid Season 2, talk about things that I like about it, and then dive into things that I didn't really like. I did this with Season 1 when that came out, and Season 2 is all out right now in English, so I figured, hey, why not do another video for Season 2? I liked Season 1 just fine, so let's talk about Monkie Kid Season 2. I will say, the main thing that Monkie Kid Season 2 does is it does play things extremely safe, which is not a bad thing. It very much is trying to basically be what Season 1 was. There are, of course, new villains and new settings and a couple of new characters, of course, but in general, Monkie Kid Season 2 is kind of more of the same thing. It's more of what Season 1 does, and like I said, that's not a bad thing. However, it is just a little too safe for comfort, if that makes sense. I feel like they could definitely have tried more with this season to build a more unique atmosphere with this story, but there are indeed some very solid things about this season that I particularly enjoy. Now, before we actually get into the specifics of things, I do want to give a spoiler warning. I'm not going to talk about too much plot detail, however, we might get into spoiler territory a little bit, so if you're cautious about spoilers, might want to turn away from this video from this point onwards. So in terms of the actual plot of Season 2, it basically features random stuff happening every episode, though there is a streamlined continuity with some of the things going on in the background. Some episodes may focus on random adventures of MK and his crew, but in the background you do have some other stuff going on that kind of ties into the overall plot point of this season, which is essentially all about the Spider Queen and her new ally, if you will, Lady Bone Demon, which I must say, both of those characters, amazing. 10s out of 10s for sure. But like I said, the entire season, the Spider Queen is trying to build something in the background, and she needs to collect various artifacts to do so, and Lady Bone Demon, like I said, is kind of helping her out with that, while also playing this more sinister role that maybe she might actually have something up her sleeve that doesn't really apply to the Spider Queen. There is also this plot point that I do think is worth mentioning. MK kind of worries that he isn't as worthy to be the Monkey King's successor, and he ultimately thinks that the Monkey King himself made a little bit of a mistake choosing MK to be the successor, which I did like that. I liked that storyline. I liked seeing MK struggle with who he is and what he needs to do, and balancing that with his relationships with his friends and his job. All of that is very well done, like I said. MK's character pretty much carries over from Season 1 perfectly, but with that added tension of maybe he's not worthy after all, I think that absolutely adds to his character from Season 1 and builds upon that. Also, MK, speaking of him, he does get a couple of new abilities this season, which is always fun to see. I really liked seeing how the Monkey King's powers are slowly being developed for MK, and I liked seeing how he is growing to learn to adapt to those powers and make them his own. One of the other main plot points of the season is that the Monkey King himself has kind of just left, but he does return towards the end, and the ending itself is quite nice. There's a really nice cliffhanger at the end that makes me extremely pumped for Season 3, which we know is coming out, and I can't wait for that. Absolutely looking forward to that. But the ending itself, some people aren't going to enjoy it. Like I said, it is kind of a cliffhanger. It is kind of a cop-out in a way, but it certainly reeled me in for the excitement of what Season 3 could be like, and like I said, I am very much looking forward to seeing the next season of this show. In terms of the actual characters of the show, like I said, a lot of characters from Season 1 do indeed return, but you also have some new characters. We already kind of touched on MK a little bit. I really liked his character, and I thought that he was really well done. A very appropriate step up from what he was in Season 1. Like I said, the Monkey King isn't in it that much, but you do have the other characters returning from MK's crew, including May, who I still love very much. May was one of my favorite characters from Season 1, and she returns in full force here, and she also has a very, very interesting relationship with Red Sun, I believe is his name. I kind of ship them a little bit, not gonna lie. Like I said, May is still very awesome, one of my favorite characters still. In terms of other characters that return, we do have Princess Ironfan in there for a little bit. She returns for a handful of scenes. Now, she was one of my favorite characters from Season 1. Unfortunately, she's not in here all that much, and I wish she was in it more, because she still is one of my favorite characters throughout the entirety of the show, but she was in there for a little bit, and when she returned, it was pretty fun to see her back. In terms of other characters, we have the Spider Queen, Queen. I'm just going to call her Spider Lady because that's how I know her. She is an excellent character, like I said, and Monkie Kid really nails its female characters, I must say. A lot of my favorite characters happen to be the female ones, which, you know, that just proves that female characters can be written really well. So I'm happy to see Monkie Kid take full advantage of its female cast, and like I said, the Spider Lady, or the Spider Queen, whatever you want to call her, is by far one of the better villains in this season for sure. But in terms of the absolute best character, or at least the best newer character in this season, we have Lady Bone Demon. Now, she was kind of hinted at towards the end of the first season, if I'm remembering correctly, but here we kind of go all in on her character. She kind of is introduced to the Spider Lady as this kind of innocent, frail child, if you will, but she eventually does grow into what we know as the Lady Bone Demon, and she is quite cool, I must say. Her powers are awesome. I love the final battle where she takes on Monkie Kid in the mech and absolutely obliterates him. I thought that was really cool. Definitely proves that she is a very sinister and diabolical villain, and I can't wait to see her in the next chapter of Monkie Kid. I thought that Lady Bone Demon was one of the best newer characters of the entire season, and I feel like a lot of the female characters, like I said, in Monkie Kid are very well written and very well developed, so big props to the Monkie Kid team for making the female characters actually queens. Like I said, though, all of the characters are pretty good. I especially liked MK, like I said earlier, and also Sandy I thought was a lot better this season as opposed to the last one. I didn't really care for Sandy all that much throughout the first season of Monkie Kid, but in this season he does get a pretty big boost. There is a very interesting episode where he kind of showcases what his true strength is, and ultimately turns that around into a friendship gesture, which I thought was really fun. It kind of shows that Sandy truly is the gentle giant type character, and I thought that he was really exceptional this season as well. The season actually has some pretty good highlighted episodes. Like I said, the episode with Sandy is fantastic, but I also really like the episode where MK has the blindfold on and he has to learn how to listen truthfully. I thought that sequence was really well done. Each episode of Monkie Kid is very short, like I said. Following season 1, each episode is only around 11 minutes in length. The season does start with a special, though, like the first season did. There is a 45-minute special that plays before the actual season starts, and that was also really good. I really enjoyed the structure of Monkie Kid, and season 2 does indeed carry that structure over from season 1. It's not so much different as much as it is the same structure, but it works, and if it isn't broke, you know, you don't fix it. So, in terms of other things that I enjoyed about season 2, I like how the villains from the last season don't get forgotten. Like I said, a lot of them are still around. Like the Demon Bull King is still a thing, he's still hanging out in the background, and he's definitely not the main bad guy anymore, but he still kind of hangs out in the background and does his own thing, so I'm glad that the show is keeping that level of continuity. I also enjoy the writing of the show. Like I said, this show is breathtakingly hilarious in a lot of ways. This show absolutely nails comedy. It's genuinely funny. I found myself laughing at several things throughout this show, and I especially love all the fourth wall breaking stuff. There's a bit where May is struggling to hold something, and she says, "I wish I had fingers," obviously a reference to the Lego minifigures not having actual hands. Just stuff like that I think is fun. Just cute little quirky moments like that are definitely commonplace in this series, and for that, I can't really fault the series all that much. The writing is fantastic. The show doesn't take itself too seriously as well. It knows what it is, and I really enjoy that. Ninjago sometimes I feel like takes itself a little too seriously in terms of its world and its context, but Monkie Kid understands what it is. And I feel like this is definitely a case of one of those things where Monkie Kid absolutely did it better than Ninjago did, but Ninjago's still good, obviously. In terms of the animation and the art style, it's all still here, carried over from season 1, and it's so good. It makes me mad that Ninjago can't look like this. We came close with some of the Legacy reimagined shorts, but Monkie Kid looks like this all the time, and it's so pleasing on the eyes. I just love the art style. I know some people don't like it and some people will never like it, but for me, I think the art style is fantastic, and I can't really ask for a better look for this series. I think Monkie Kid absolutely nails its art direction, and the animation is just beautiful at that. The voice actors are also pretty good. Everybody does a really good job, especially MK, and I can't really find any faults within the writing, voice acting, or animation. Like I said, the only things about the season that I really didn't care for was how similar it was to season 1 in terms of storytelling. I thought that this season played it a little too safe, like I said, played their cards a little close to home, but that's okay. I feel like the series can always expand out with later years. This kind of feels like season 1.5, if that makes sense. There are things from season 1 that are established for sure and referenced and capitalized on, but I feel like there's just a little bit too much of that going on, if that makes sense. I couldn't help but feel like this was kind of a continuation to season 1 as opposed to its own storyline and its own season. But hey, this is still Monkie Kid season 2, and for the most part I thought this season did a very good job with only a couple of minor complaints from me. me. In terms of the letter grade, I ended up giving the first season a letter grade. I think I gave it an A- or a B+. This season is more like a B, maybe a B-, somewhere in between there. It's definitely not as good as season 1 in my opinion, but this season does introduce some very solid new characters, some very good locations, and again, more of the same stuff that we had seen from Monkie Kid season 1, which isn't a bad thing, but it did feel a little repetitive from time to time. Overall, Monkie Kid season 2 is still awesome, and I would highly recommend checking it out. It continues the series in a very strong way, and I can't wait to see what season 3 delivers on when that eventually does get released sometime later. In terms of the Monkie Kid sets, once again, I'm not going to buy those. They are way too expensive for me, a little bit out of my budget, and I'd rather save my money for Ninjago stuff, but at least the show looks good. At least I can watch the show for free and appreciate the show as it is. And in terms of Monkie Kid Season 2, like I said, it's still very awesome, and I would recommend checking it out if you have not done so already. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my review or overview video thing on Monkie Kid Season 2. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about this season, and let me know what you think about Monkie Kid in general. Did this video convince you to check out the series for yourself? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. As always, big shout out goes out to my Patreon supporters, including once again the marvelous Jan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video once again. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.